Alright, someone say something. Still dead. What is this? I'm... Oh. For real though, what is going on? Alright, someone speak.
Hello, testing.
Hello. I hear things.
You hear what? Things?
People.
You hear people. Do you see dead people? You probably not old enough to remember that. Oh, okay. It would help if I wasn't running on 2 hours of sleep. I've got to work too, bro.
I guess I'm the odd one out.
What is
I wish I didn't have to work. That's what I've been trying to do, and then I lost sound. Ugh, I can't even drag to that screen. Like, you guys can see my mic is moving right here, right? But whenever you say something or something happens on the desktop, this doesn't move. I don't know why, because there's only one audio driver the audio is going through. And it's not moving.
Someone speak.
Hello. I am Tinkkz. I am speaking.
Yeah, no, I lost audio.
Don't do anything. I just heard Tinkkz. It was just quiet.
See, now I can hear it. Now I can hear it.
So keep it on default. Now comes the question of why is it so low?
No, because on default I got him.
Yeah, on default it's nothing.
Drag that back over there.
Literally gotta be a volume.
Everything's up. Like I'm having to turn down my headset. You guys are loud.
Will you stream that back? I wanna see will you stream system back? Have a look at it real quick. So go into all of the audio fields.
Yeah, I just heard knocks on the stream. It's just quiet.
Yeah, that's the thing. I can hear myself.
Yeah, go ahead and fire me.
You only just saw that message?
Yeah, I'm not been paying attention to the chat. I've been trying to figure this out.
Yeah,
Fair enough.
go through your streaming, were you streaming somewhere and have a look at your settings? I'm pretty sure it's all in there. System sound is the headset earphones, TV.
Yeah, Kraken tournament.
Just click on that down. That down. Can you open the REZO Kraken terminal?
I think I have it installed. I mean, it works without me being signed into Razer, so. Synapse is updating.
So it should be
Oh.
working for you.
Oh my god, that is very loud.
There you go. That worked.
So you guys can hear yourself?
Hello, test.
Yeah, just a bit. That was loud.
That is very loud. I'm gonna turn you guys down.
I'm sorry, I can't hear shit. Nox just deafened me.
You can thank Noxious Next for fixing it.
Thanks, Nox. You can pay for my fucking hearing aids.
Razor Kraken Terminal for the win.
Alright, are you guys still loud, or do I need to turn you up? Do I turn you down more?
Oh no, it's fine.
It works great.
Okay. You gave me a fucking heart attack, Knox. Don't yell, please.
I mean, Tinkkz, can you just chat a minute? Because I need to...
Yes, I am chatting. Would you like me to chat about female things? I can talk about a monthly visitor
No.
if you'd like.
So we're all perfect volume right now.
Alright, cool.
Finally. Thanks, Knox. Now that X out is going to go right back to original.
40 minutes later, and now we can finally start the podcast.
Wait, it's actually been 40 minutes?
Yeah, it's been 40 minutes we've been troubleshooting. Or, yeah. Let's get the division going. I'm embarrassed. I'm really embarrassed right now.
It's all good, it happens.
Everyone has performance issues every now and then.
Oh,
It's
yeah, it happens
totally
to me
normal.
more. Happens to be more often than not. Okay, so I got that working. Let's move you all the way over here.
Hey, I just saw him shrink.
Hey! I gotta look at this screen now, but this is my main screen. I gotta look at the game screen. I don't know what to do.
You might want to go and respam.
We have
No,
less
because
issues.
as you said, spamming is not good for reputation.
All I can say is, wow.
Sorry, guys. Wow, my webcam is nasty. I need a green screen. Great, now I can't hear Division.
Oh, for fuck's sake.
Oh, no, never mind. That's my equalizer. That's my end. My bad. Alright. Oh, the frame issues. Why is it 40 frames?
Have you got the X12 turned on?
Yeah, but I was running at 300 frames earlier. One issue after another.
Oh, the joy of streaming.
Yeah, it's great.
At least you guys have a dedicated streaming setup. I have a potato laptop and an Ava Media graphics card.
Alright. Let's get rid of this annoying mission out of the way. I'm much better at Xbox, so don't judge me here.
We're always judging you.
I know. Always count on the law to judge me.
Right, so I think we can finally redo the introductions.
Yeah.
Since it's actually working.
For like 5 minutes.
Don't jinx it.
I can't hear anything. No, I'm
Don't.
just kidding.
Okay.
Tinkkz, don't do that.
Yeah, take off my watch. A baller watch, by the way. Alright. SHD Radio, episode 2. After, 40 minutes of troubleshooting?
Absolutely.
And all it was is just my pure stupidity. We have Noxious next. WGH, The Law, and Tinkkz from Bombshell Jacket podcast? Correct?
Close. Bombshell Jackets.
Bombshell Jackets. I forgot the S. I'm sorry.
That's okay. Twitter, it's actually Bombshell Jacket without the S because of character limitations, so I guess both work.
Yeah, there you go. So, today's agenda. Division 2, what do you guys think?
Who starts?
No one knows.
We are not professionals.
Well, I'll go ahead and start. Seeing as I'm tier 1, level 30. So, I'm not the best. There are people out there that are tier 4. So far, I've enjoyed it. Bugs have been very minimal. And those bugs that have come up, they've been patched near enough the next day. So, as far as I'm concerned for the Division 2 right now, I'm happy with it. It's not as CPU hungry as I thought it would be, considering the alphas and the betas. So yeah, it's a very good starting place for them. There are a few improvements that they can still make, but it's still early days yet.
I totally agree. Like, they have come a long way from the beta. Like, I've seen people try to stream beta from their PC and absolutely just wipes their CPU usage, and it was kind of scary at first, but now I can see like it's kind of lagging a bit. Like, I have a 2080 amp and it should not be eating this much, but I probably have a setting wrong somewhere, so it's probably something on my end. But I can definitely tell you this game is a lot of fun. I'm tier 2 gear score 324 on Xbox. And I absolutely cannot put down my controller.
Law, it is now your turn to go. After the beep. Beep.
Oh wow, I didn't know I was doing the beep test. Right, anyway, I haven't had much playtime yet for personal reasons, but what I can say is the game is amazing. The graphics are so much better than the first game, and the story is just beautiful, especially with the little Easter eggs from the Echo drops that they've done.
Yeah, I'm like a big nerd, and I start playing and I can't stop, so I have a lot of hours into it already, and I agree with what Nick said. The bugs that there are have been addressed quickly and not quietly. They are talking with the community, letting the community know, having short maintenances that don't last all day long, fixing the servers as needed and stuff like that. It's been quite a good experience for a launch, solid launch. As for the game, the progression is beautiful. Going through, it's easy to maneuver as someone who's played the Division before. But I think if you've never played the Division, it could get very overwhelming, very tough, and they could have done maybe a little bit more direction in teaching newer players how to do things, because I can see a lot of newer players getting aggravated with it's tough. This game is not easy. I played the whole thing solo, and for me, with my background in playing Division 1, it was fine. As soon as I learned that the first priority is don't get pinched. DPS does not matter much at all when you're leveling up. Positioning is what matters most in this game. So I think if they could teach newer players that you don't just shoot these players down. You need to be tactical. You need to use your skills. And there's a lot of different components that are just run and gun. And I know that may seem obvious to a lot of us that play the Division, but I can see a lot of people that are new are getting very aggravated because the game seems really hard. And they do have matchmaking and stuff like that, but a lot of people just want to play it solo and are giving up. So I think that would be something like that would be perfect. But otherwise, I mean, it's a solid launch. It's a solid 1 to 30. Like Law said, the lore that you pick up and stuff is great. I've always loved the bits and pieces where you walk around and pick them up and you put the story together. So that's great. The gameplay is great. All the new sounds are amazing. The progression is wonderful, like I said. So it's just very solid.
I love the feature where if you've got one round left in the mag and you do a tactical reload, it keeps that extra round. Because in the last game, that one bullet could always be the life or death.
Yeah, that's kind of weird. I thought it was a bug at first, and I was like, how come I can reload twice? And why is this only one bullet? Like, what's going on? And then when it was explained to me, I was like, oh, that...
I'd like to talk development for a second, because obviously, like you've mentioned, Tinkkz, if you've played the Division 1, it's all run and gun, and that's fantastic. However, a lot of players are coming into the game saying, oh, I'm getting killed all the time, I'm having to take cover all the time. I'd just like to point out that the game was developed in this way. People were complaining that the game was far too easy. And we're talking the Division 1. People were saying that game was far too easy as far as run and gun goes. So what they did is they used the data and the way that hunters were coded in the Division 1 and implemented them into the Division 2, but as the normal bad guys you would meet. So they are efficiently your hunters. Which means there is new code for the hunters to actually be in the game. And that's why the hunters are a lot more terrible and a lot more scary in the Division 2. Which is also why you have to hide. You have to stay behind cover, because if you don't, you're going to get your ass kicked. And that's just me being polite. You will get your ass kicked if you don't stay in cover. And that's just the way the game's been developed.
Because it's a cover-based shooter, and it didn't feel like it in Division 1, and now it feels like it in Division 2.
Absolutely.
As far as Division 1 go, the meta was to actually break the game. Because, like you said, it was a run-and-gun situation, but it was designed as a cover-based game.
Did I just lose audio? I think I just lost audio.
No, you didn't.
Oh, okay.
I think for the most part, a lot of us that are on the podcast right now are playing the Division 2 as we're currently podcasting.
Speak for yourself. I'm eating a burrito.
I just finished a toasty. I'm now playing the game.
So some of us are eating, some of us are playing, and it's very much the case of, you know, the game is lovable and enjoyable, and it really way that a lot of people are faulting it for the wrong reasons, and those reasons are just downright due to the fact that the coding is spot on for what Tinkkz has said is a duck and cover shooter game, which is how it should have been.
I can see what you're getting at, but I just had terrible hit reg with a shotgun at point blank.
Shotgun sniping's still a thing, and honestly, I've found shotgun snipers as well, at least, so it goes both ways, so at least it's consistent.
No, I mean with NPCs. I was just point blank with the lullaby, and it just didn't respond to them being shot in the face.
Yeah, well, the lullaby used to be really super strong. It's since been nerfed an awful lot.
It's still a beautiful gun, though.
Yeah, I think some tweaks need to happen with these exotics you get at the beginning. The lullaby is pretty good. The rifle, though, what's it called? Starts with an R. I can't remember. It's a little difficult to love because it's a little underpowered and all that stuff, but it's still a cool concept. It seems like they put a lot of work into it, and I want them to be really great.
Yeah, I mean,
the game right now is promising.
Yeah, the game is definitely promising. It's got a lot of, I mean, we've still got the first year of the DLC to come through. However, you know, there are some players, I'll speak for myself here when I say some players, where there is a certain game due to be released in May, I think. They did say third quarter. That may pull players away from the Division 2. But we'll see. We'll see what happens. It just depends on the developers keeping the game interesting to keep it.
The slight endgame we've experienced here with World Tier 4, if it's any indication for what's to come, it's going to be amazing. Like, because we haven't really hit the real endgame yet, and it's already very addictive. Lots of things to do. I still haven't finished. I have 78 hours, I think 80 hours played, and I still haven't got everything I want to do in this small chunk that we've been given. So.
Yeah. I have to crack on story for a little bit. The story mode for the Division 2, I've not really seen or been aware of much of the storyline. If there is a story, I've not been able to get immersed into it as much as I did the Division 1. and I'm aware that a lot of players have that same issue. So if you guys know what the story is for the Division 2, fill me in.
Yeah, I see what you mean, because the storyline for Division 2 is a lot more subtle, and it's more of just running around picking up things instead of following a set story, like in Division 1.
I felt rather disconnected from it too, which is it's troublesome because a lot of people felt that with Division 1. I did not with Division 1. I felt very engrossed in the story in Division 1, and I disagreed with everyone who said that, you know, they don't want to go around picking things up, and I thought, then don't. There's still such a great story. I mean, you can go onto YouTube and just watch all the cutscenes, and it's an hour and a half. You know, not just the cutscenes, but like also some in-mission things and intel and stuff like that. And I don't think that includes, I'm not sure if it includes the radios and whatnot, but that's an hour and a half. That's an entire movie in a game. So Division 1, I think, did it very well. Division 2, I do feel very disconnected from the story, and I don't understand how that can be a thing because of all the feedback they got from Division 1 and people being so disconnected. So it leads me to believe that there's a lot more. I really think that there's a lot more that they're keeping from us, because I don't see this as being the story. I see this as being like a quarter of it or the beginning of it, as far as the Black Tusk and the invasion and saving the president. And one thing that really bothers me, and I'm going to go off a little bit on a tangent here. I'm so sorry to take over your show, but the beginning, they don't explain agents very well. So people that just pick up this game, you walk in and Shade Tech is failing. And it's like, okay, what's Shade Tech? Okay, what are agents? You know, all that kind of stuff is just lost. So how can you become engrossed in this story if you don't even know what's going on?
Yeah, I mean, the same also goes for even if you know what Shade Tech is, like,
even if you, that's true. You're totally right. Even if you do know everything.
Yeah, as far as you know, as far as the game goes, like, other than the faults of the story, like, it's good, but I'd like to be able to get engrossed more in the story, especially with like picking up phones and stuff, because though the phones in the Division 1 actually told another side of the stories to like how the civilians were coping the entire sorry, I accidentally spoke one. Yeah, the phones in the Division 1 told a different story, and like of the side of how the civilians were coping with, you know, the green poison or whatever it was called.
Yeah, this one tells a lot of stories of the different factions and stuff as well, which is a neat other side of it too. In Division 2.
Yeah, like, I love the way that the story was told from the civilian side, but there's an amazing little Easter egg put in by the Ghost Recon teams, in where the ghosts in Bolivia had to pick up the Division audio logs, and that told an entire story followed on from the eyes of children who are at one of the settlements.
Yep.
Alright, I had to walk away from my desk for a minute. I'm completely, like, lost as what you guys have said.
No, it's completely fine. So just to fill you in then, since you went AFK, basically what we've been talking and what we thought of it and how it could be improved, and we've also been talking about the development of the game and what we thought could come into the game, as well as how the development has really gone in terms of the game being good.
Alright, I feel you.
Speaking of the game being good, I just had to find a new server because my hit reg was terrible.
I wish I had a cap card so I could play on an Xbox. I don't play on
£70 on
PC
Amazon.
a lot. Yeah, I still don't have that money.
I mean, if you're going for streaming for Xbox and stuff, may I recommend reaching out to Elgato, because they're really good.
Yeah, that's what I want to do. I want to get an Elgato PCIe capture card.
I've heard so many streamers singing praises for Elgato. So,
A lot of them are sponsored.
Yeah,
none of them were
streamers are-
sponsored
No, a lot of
from the
them
ones
are
that I was
sponsored by
hearing
Elgato.
from.
I mean, let's be honest, to get sponsored by Elgato, you have to be a really good streamer to start off with. And you have to put a lot of time into your streaming, because that's how Elgato makes their money.
I was just hearing things from small-time streamers, like some of the ladies at HGG, who don't have many viewers.
Yeah, but what you have to remember, and I talk with a lot of the HGG girls, so just like yourself, Law, is these girls have already set up their idea of how they want to stream, and their setups before they've even got big. So they've got a lot to contend with, and at the same time, their upgrading and such for technology is going to be hugely immense with, sponsorships like Elgato and stuff, when they say, oh yeah, we've already got the latest item of this, so if you're bringing out a new one, we'll happily take it.
Excuse me.
Now,
That
on
is
the topic-
true.
On the topic of HGG, the communities for the Division 2, I feel, have already sort of settled their own little pockets. And I'm not saying that's a bad thing, but the popular ones are already the popular ones are already stepping above the smaller communities. I don't think it's fair to say that it's not going to give them a chance, but the smaller communities that are out there are going to struggle, because obviously a lot of the bigger name communities aren't getting enough sponsorship or enough promotion, especially with
From
clans
who?
and stuff being just general people. Because obviously a lot of them use clans and stuff like that, and it's the kind of promotion that they need. But again, like I say, the smaller people just aren't going to get noticed much because of the bigger groups that are in the community itself.
Well, it depends. What their intention of is getting noticed, right? So, what do you need to get noticed for? What's the intention there? What will help you get noticed in these clans? You don't need to get noticed for clans, for communities, for things like that. If your intention is to grow and to be popular, then sure, maybe they're not getting as much promotion as they'd like. But if your intention is to create a family and have quality people and quality enjoyment, then no promotion is needed whatsoever, right? It just depends.
Like, I completely agree. You have to have the right intentions. Like, right now, and I know I shouldn't say this, but I'm in a clan of complete idiots who just focus on numbers and not actually focus on trying to create a good, non-toxic community where gamers can just join and have a laugh.
Yeah, so our clan is about 100 people in all games. Like, we started in Destiny, and we have about 100 people, and we play all kinds of different games. Now, when it comes to the Division side of it, I think there's only like 18 to 20 people in our PC clan. And then on PS4, there's like 10 to 15 there. We don't want more people in there. Like, I don't mean to sound exclusive. We play with anyone, but we want to be a family. We want to know everyone. We want to know their names. We want to know their family. We want to know their struggles. We want to be there for each other. We don't necessarily want people do know about us, but that's not anything that we've strived for. We'd rather be this small family community, and I have right now, I think 15 to 20 invite requests on my Resolute right here on PC, and I'm not even looking at them because that's not what's important to us. Does that?
Yeah, because you want to be on first name terms with people, be close with them, not just see them as people who can help you level up and stuff.
Right.
Create a family, not count buddies.
Yeah, exactly. And that's what creates a community. Right there is what creates a community. Numbers don't create a community. Numbers create numbers. That's just bam. You have a number, and that means nothing.
Right, while we're on the topic of, numbers and saying that, guilds and communities are kind of like a family, and that's what you want. As far as clans go, and I've been on the forums recently, and there are people complaining that the clan numbers are too small. So, as in the maximum number of users to join your clan.
Who really runs around with 50 people all at once?
Hold on, let me just finish. So do you guys prefer to manage a clan that is maybe 400 or 500 people big, or would you prefer numbers of, maybe 50 to 100 people and just be able to manage that smaller number and know the people that are inside your group?
Well, clan progression has a big presence in the Division 2 too, so you need to think about that. On a stream, I can't remember which dev said it, but actually it might have been Hamish, but they wanted it at 50 for that family feel, right? So kind of the same thing where it goes down to intentions, but also there's a progression. You can't have. There's competitiveness there. 50 is the perfect amount for me, because if you have these clans of 100 and then there's that progression, people are just going to get those 100. They're going to go to level up their clan, get all those perks, and then they never met each other. They didn't know each other. It's not just matchmaking. It helps for matchmaking, but that's not all a clan is. It's camaraderie. It's there's a lot more depth than just numbers.
And that's exactly it. People run with who they feel comfortable with. I've been running with my old squad from before I've met HGG and even WGH, because that's the people that I know will be there to play with, to have a laugh with.
See, I recently joined a new clan, and they're ran by the guys who run the Locked On podcast. And I gotta admit, it was different because obviously a lot of them are all streamers and all the rest. But at the same time, it was nice to be part of that different sort of group and different community, because it saved me getting bored hanging around with the same people, if that makes sense.
Yeah, and imagine if you did that in a group of 100 or 200 people. How do you get to know them? How do you just form cliques, right? You just have like 4 or 5 groups of people, and then you have clans of 4 or 5 people, and then you're all getting the XP, 50 is even large. To me, 50 is big. We never wanted to reach 100, but we also didn't want to... there's some quality, amazing people that wanted to join us that we didn't want to turn away either. So we started at 20, we built it up to 50, and then we capped at 100. 100 is still a lot. So I can't imagine anything more than that.
100 is huge.
Yeah. So, I don't know. And honestly, if you vet your members, it really depends on how you vet your members. 100 is super easy for us. We have 0 issues, maybe 1 issue a year. We've been a clan for about 5 years. We have like 1 issue a year, and we just really vet our members. We don't let just, anyone into our family, because that's what we see it as.
I've heard about your vetting process.
Yeah. We stalk, and we make sure that they're not talking crap on different social media things. We, find out their name and look at all that kind of stuff, and we have the interview process and all of that, and no one's immune to it. We don't just like play favorites or anything like that. Everyone has to go through the same process, and that way, once they're in, then the leadership doesn't have to, there's no issues.
They get quiet.
No, sorry. I was just reading the notes that we gathered.
I'm currently in the middle of a hyena assault.
Oh, are there notes?
We didn't share?
Notes? I don't know.
In the radio command channel. I thought I told you all.
There's not a lot of notes. We've mainly covered most of them. The only one we haven't covered is Easter eggs. So I'm gonna ask if you've seen any Easter eggs. Don't reveal the location, but what were they? And did you think they were funny or interesting? And where do you think those Easter eggs could potentially lead, as in the future of the Division 2 story or play game style?
I've only heard of one Easter egg, which turned out to be just a massive lie.
What's that?
It was something to do with a giant alligator roaming the streets. Turned out to be just something that the devs added as a callback to the rumor about New York having alligators.
Viewers, yeah.
That'd have been funny as hell, though.
I have like a crazy story. It's definitely like personal. so I don't know if anyone's really going to care, but I'm going to share it anyways. My son is super into Jurassic Park. He's been into Jurassic Park for 5 or 6 years, and he has a snake that he tucks into his butt and like his underwear in the bag, and he becomes a raptor, right? And so the snake head goes into his underwear. It becomes a tail. So he is a raptor, and he's been a raptor for like 5 or 6 years. Now, I was... okay, you said don't show the location, right? So there was an Easter egg that had a sign on an upside-down car that said "Clever Girl," which is an Easter egg to Jurassic World. And the weirdest thing is, next to that car that's upside down that says "Clever Girl" is one of those stuffed snakes right next to it that my son uses. Oh. And I thought that was the craziest thing. I was
Can you give a rough location? I actually want to check that out now.
It's by a Shade Tech cache. I'll say that. So once you find all the Shade Tech caches, you will see it.
There's only a few hundred of those.
Yeah, there's only like 1,500, something like that.
And also by a stronghold. There you
go. Am I near it? I'm in the middle of the map, never mind. Don't answer that.
Yeah, you're in the middle of nowhere.
I'm actually in a stronghold right now.
I'm in a hotel.
Okay, so the film It. Any of you aware of it? The red balloon clown.
Yep.
The original or the new one?
The new one.
Okay, yeah, I watched it.
There's a balloon in the sewer. I don't know which sewer. I saw this picture on Twitter. It was confirmed to be a real picture. Just so we're all clear, it wasn't a fake. It was actually captured using the in-game stuff. There's a red balloon behind some metal grates, and yeah, it's literally in the sewers. You just stare at it. And
another reason why I'm not going into the sewers.
There's some really good loot down there.
Now, talking about the sewers, you were saying about crocodiles and stuff.
Yeah,
and the alligators. In the sewers, there is also, and it's confirmed, although it was meant to have just been a rumor, it is now being confirmed that yes, there is an alligator that you can spot in the sewers, but you only see its tail.
Right.
As long as I don't see its jaws, that's fine.
So as far as the alligator rumors go, yes, there is an alligator in DC. However, it's in the sewers, and you will only see its tail before it vanishes out of sight behind the bars of the non-playable zone.
I think I know what server you're talking about.
Yeah, I know what sewer it is now as well. As long as it stays in the non-playable zone, I'm okay.
What, you'll just quit the division if it doesn't?
Yep. I get scared easily, don't judge.
Noxious Next, take note, send that email.
I will kick you in the balls, Nox.
You've actually got to agree to meet up with me first.
That sounds dangerous.
I will at some point.
Well, no. Okay, so let me just point this out real quick, so you guys have got some intel on this. Me and Law actually live really close to each other, but the
like
last
half hour away.
Yeah, the last time Law said, "Oh, we'll meet," he called and pulled a sickie on me and said, "I can't meet you."
I couldn't talk.
You can write on paper.
Sounds like he got cold feet.
No, my aunt brought in this flu thing, and I seriously could not talk. I didn't even get out of bed for like a week because of how bad it was. I'm gonna start recording how many deltas I get.
Why are you getting deltas?
3 in the last half hour.
Wow.
I haven't gotten one in my like 80 hours of playing.
Yeah, I've only had a mic, but that's when they shut down the servers for maintenance.
I've had crashes, but I've never had deltas or mics or anything like that. It's literally just been a straight up crash.
The first 2 days of release for the standard edition, I was getting a delta every 5 minutes. And then, the last few days I've been getting a delta every half hour.
I'm
sometimes
wondering if
more
that's
often.
your internet then.
I'm getting good internet, that's the problem.
Or maybe it's the PC or something, or the...
I'm on Xbox, and it's a new Xbox.
Ah. Okay, maybe that's it. Yeah, on PC it hasn't happened to me once.
Yeah, so I play on PC and it's never happened to me. As I say, I've had that
Yeah, they
one
acquired
crash.
new, like, dedicated servers. They're pretty damn sweet.
I'm literally only playing Division just so I can get the M32A1.
Right. Now, I don't know if any of you have got to the end game. Like, we're talking tier 4 end game. Like, end game. But there's rumours that the directors of the Avengers, the Russo brothers, have worked with Ubisoft to add an Easter egg. I don't know how concrete that is. It's just a rumour I've heard. So if any of you have reached that far, do you know if it's true?
Where would it... It's only in World Tier 4 or something? Because I've reached endgame, but...
It's literally tier 4 endgame. I've only heard, like I say, I've only heard rumours that there's this Easter egg there. I don't know where it is or what the Easter egg is. I just heard that's it's there.
Well, because there's no, like, physical difference between World Tier 3 and World Tier 4. It's the AI and the difficulty level, so I'm not sure how that would work.
I'm having a look on Reddit right now.
Yeah, see, I've not heard it be confirmed by the Ubisoft guys. I just heard it as a rumor from people to say this is out there, this is in the game, but I've not seen it confirmed or anything, which is why I was wondering, has anyone else seen it, just to add structure to this rumor?
I'm not finding anything on Google about any Easter eggs like that.
If anything, I think this game was directed by Michael Bay himself. There's a lot of explosions in it.
I reckon Michael Bay would love this game.
He wished he made the Transformers like this game.
Michael Bay would literally put himself in it.
Yeah, that is true. But I'm glad someone else got that reference.
Now, since we're on the subject of Michael Bay, Transformers movies. You know they've run out of ideas when they start having robot dinosaurs.
Excuse me.
Well, you know robot dinosaurs were always a thing in the Transformers, right? They are even a thing in the comics.
Yes, I know. But when you have to bring them into the movies, you know it's time to just call it quits.
Well, no, because they're going through the comics. It's the same with the Avengers and stuff. They're going through the comics.
Have you guys read the Division comics?
I have tried to find any Dark Horse comic
I'm
retailer
unable
in my
to
area.
get hold of them.
Oh, you can just get it on your iPhone through Amazon.
But I don't want to
just
do
read
that.
it on
I
your
want the
phone.
physical.
Right, but if you just
I
want to
prefer
read it.
physical copies.
Yeah, no, I have those too. It's just I wanted them the day it came out because I wanted to read the story,
That
so
is
I bought
true.
them on the Kindle, and then I went and got the physical one right after when I found it at a comic book store.
See,
I've actually emailed my local comic store just to see if they can get hold of
they
anything.
probably will. Yeah.
See, the problem is, my local comic store, which isn't the same as Law's local comic store, shut down. So I don't have a local comic store, which is really sad.
Okay, but yeah, if you want to just read the story and not get the full comic experience, you can
Yeah.
just get it on your phone too.
yeah, I guess.
If you want to read the story and not get a full comic experience, you need to stop reading comics.
Well,
You
I
have
don't
to have
read.
the full experience or nothing. There's no in between.
Okay, snobs.
No, I've just always been an avid reader, and I love physical books because digital to me is just that's a game. I need the real thing to me.
Right, absolutely, I understand. But if there's no other option, it's that or not get to hear the story.
Which is true.
Yeah.
I do see what you're getting at.
Yeah, if it's wait 3 months or do it, then I'd understand. But if there's no other way at all,
Excuse me.
Like, I actually need to go to my local comic store to pre-order the Division graphic novel.
oh yeah, mine's coming Tuesday. Oh, I'm so excited.
Oh, tell me what it's like when you get it.
A lot of people already have theirs. I don't understand.
Must be staggered release dates so they don't run out at the
I guess, which is, but that's not okay
warehouses.
for lore books. Like, that's not okay.
Speaking of lore books, I actually have the Survivor's Guide from Division 1 somewhere.
By Alex Irvine, yeah.
Yeah, that's the one.
I tried getting that, and like everywhere, even on Amazon, it was always sold out for me. I wonder if I can get one right now.
What country do you live in?
U.S.
Oh,
You should be able
that's
to get hold of
weird.
it now.
I've bought them for like all my friends. They've always been there. Maybe you just looked at the wrong times.
Probably.
Yeah, it's
Hell, I
amazing.
reckon people are going to have them on eBay now.
No, they're still there on Amazon. Like, you can still buy it now.
Like the Walmart I work at had that book, had like 5 copies of it, and it mysteriously disappeared.
Oh my gosh. You know that they didn't sell or what?
Like I looked at, so as an electronics employee, I have access to the store's backlogs and sell history, and I scan a certain item with my handheld, and it tells me which ones have sold, and they were all sold to one person the same day.
That's weird.
I was floored.
Yeah, it's probably someone doing it for giveaways and stuff too, because I've probably bought 20 of them altogether.
Yeah, there's probably giveaways or people buying them for friends.
Yeah, I just wish I could get my hands on a copy, you know.
Tinkkz just disconnected.
I'll grab
It's a third party right now, so they might be out, but it's a third party, and it's still free shipping.
You know you moved to the general chat, right?
Hmm?
You disconnected and went to the general chat.
Oh, and you moved me back?
Yep.
Thank you. I must have clicked something wrong. And yeah, that's...
I heard the ding, and then I was like, I'm gonna look in the top left-hand side of my screen.
I'm not a smart man.
That's my line.
They have a 4K version of Agent Origins?
They what?
Yeah, Agent Origins is in 4K right now. I don't understand how. It wasn't shot in 4K.
Now,
I don't understand why.
I'd just like to say, while we're on the topic of comics and stuff, and this is more of a public announcement than it is, in fact, it might even be a statement. I was in a stream the other day talking about the MCU, and I'm not going to name the streamer's stream because unfortunately I messaged that streamer and I was like, I can no longer be part of your community because of the kind of people that you're accepting in your community. But basically, there were people in this certain community that had the outlook of, if you've not read the comics, I'm going to spoil everything for you. And I just disagree with it. So I would just like to point out that for those that do get the Division comic, don't spoil the story for people that don't want it spoiled, because at the end of the day, the reason the story is there in the game is so people can figure it out themselves.
Yeah,
but when is it an acceptable amount of time to talk about it if you want to talk about it with your community? Like I've definitely talked about the comic book in my community because we all wanted to talk about it, and I said, we're going to talk about the comics, so leave if you don't want to hear it. You're watching a Division.
Given the public announcement is fine. That's fine.
Okay.
As long as you tell them, or if you're going to talk about it in text chat on Discord, use the spoiler tags.
Right, yeah, absolutely.
Yeah, because obviously this streamer, now, unfortunately, I've since left their community. I'm not going back. They were okay with this person spoiling the entirety of the MCU through their Twitch chat. They were okay with that. And I was just not happy or okay with the factor of, if there's a story to something, i.e. the Division, don't spoil it for others, because it'll just either turn some of or most of the community against you, or you'll just become hated as a whole. Because accepting the factor of, oh yeah, if my community are allowed to spoil the stories for you, that's wrong. And unfortunately, this person is a streamer of the Division. Now again, I'm not going to say who it is, but it was kind of upsetting to the factor of they were allowing this.
Acceptable time frame to start giving spoilers is a minimum of 3 weeks. But to knowingly let people start giving away spoilers free will, that's not acceptable. You need to have some kind of restraint for it.
Again, I agree that 3 weeks is good, but again, that I think that also depends on the story that you're looking at. So in this case, it was the MCU, so there should have literally been no reason for it to be spoiled, because even the Russo brothers.
Oh, this isn't the Division comic.
No, but I mean,
that's bullshit.
We can base it towards the Division comic as well. Like, there is a story in the Division comic, I'm assuming. So if people get the comic, don't spoil it for others. Leave it at least 3 weeks.
Right, so
people
it's
that
been out
don't-
for 3 weeks. It has already been out for 3 weeks, so we have talked about it. I definitely didn't talk about it the day after the day, but it's also a Division stream. So yes, I completely
so
agree
that's
with
fair.
you. Something that's not Division, they shouldn't be allowed to sit and spoil it. Absolutely, 100%.
But yeah, it annoyed me. Spoiler annoyed me just due to the fact that even the Russo brothers agreed that people should not put spoilers out for the Avengers Endgame or Captain Marvel for
Ever.
at least the next 6 months.
Yeah,
After Endgame.
ever. There's no reason to. We all have our own private places that we can talk about things. There's no reason to sit and do it publicly.
Yeah, and to do it in someone's Twitch chat and then that Twitch user to turn around and say I was okay with it, it was just totally wrong.
Yeah, that makes sense.
I'm gonna be right back real quick.
Alright. How long have we been streaming now, anyway?
Another hour. So we're talking an hour and 40 minutes tops, including the technical difficulty.
Yeah, I gotta get going soon because I promised the kids I'd take them out playing.
Yeah, I was thinking we could call it quits soon anyway.
Yeah, I mean we've pretty much gone through all of the notes that we wrote down, and we've kind of discussed the lore and such. So, well, no one else needs to write anything down if you're just going to give them away.
Oh, by the way, Nox, the next stream is on you. You have to get all the notes ready.
Oh, is it? Is that how it is? Yeah, that's not going to happen.
Well, Sippin made last stream. I did this stream.
I will come up with some ideas and send you guys a document.
You just write down in Discord what you want to talk about, and I'll make it look pretty.
Okay. So as soon as Sipping gets back, we will call the podcast.
And then I can start the export process.
So I've got to a part in this stronghold, and I was like, what the hell am I fighting? Turns out there's these robots sat at the very back that are just so good at shooting me, it's unreal.
You're up against robots?
Yeah. Sorry, did that spoil it for you? I'm sorry.
Well, the game...
No, I knew there was robots.
You're doing a podcast about the game, so...
And the
There's
game's
gonna be
been out for how long?
Exactly. It's gonna happen. I got a big spoiler spoiled by me in our community before the game even launched for me. And I was really upset.
Tinkkz! You shouldn't let that happen.
Well, it was someone known in the community. It was Splinter Shield, so I trusted him. I wasn't looking at anyone else I didn't trust. I was really sad because that would have been an amazing thing to experience and not know.
Have you come across the issue where control point officers won't talk to you? And then just randomly disappear?
They sometimes it's because someone is attacking them and they have to go help, and sometimes it's because there's like kind of a cooldown period where you've been finished attacking and they're just waiting.
No, I just spawned in at a control point, and the officer was standing by a van. Went up to him and he just wouldn't respond to any input, and then just randomly disappeared.
I'd put that down to lag, maybe somewhere else.
Possibly. I wonder if I could remotely end the stream.
Probably, maybe, possibly.
Too lazy to, though.
Well, here's a quick question for you then. What would you guys like to see added to the Division 2 in the future? And now these can be either realistic or absolutely far-fetched ideas.
The ability to dual-wield 40mm grenade launchers.
I would like to see more integrated, like how they did the missing persons things in the first one. Just things that are like a mystery when you start it, and as you finish it, you learn more about these little side stories and stuff like that. Either whether it would be with echoes or with intel in any way, or actual side missions, or something that's very heavy story based, where you really get into these side stories and learn about new agents. Or because one of the big things in Division 1 was finding all the missing agent files and the missing person echoes and a lot of stuff like that really drew me in, and I hope in Division 2 they add something like that.
That would be amazing. Like, one of my favourite little echo based side missions was finding Lao's sister.
Exactly. And you found that the guitar was there and that there was a break-in and all that stuff. Yeah, exactly. Little things like that, yeah, where there's a little mystery involved.
Great little mission.
Mm-hmm. That's what I want to see in these, and more detailed, and the whole April Keller story with the new novel coming out. I'm hoping that in World Tier 5 we're gonna find more of that kind of stuff too, with the new novel, like we did in Division 1 with the old novel.
I'd like to potentially see control points turn more into small bases rather than staying as control points. So you could potentially build this checkpoint, so to speak.
Yeah. The thing about control points right now, though, is that they're the best source, or the only source, I guess, for farming blueprints. So to do that, they'd probably have to make World Tier 4 that you do that in World Tier 5. They kind of, if they'd stay, they'd have to find a new way to farm blueprints.
Yeah.
I find printer filament in the game?
Deconstructing mods.
Thank you. I need some for a turret mod.
I'm just going to be right back.
Okay.
Yeah, quick toilet break before I take on this big boss as well.
You need it for upgrading your crafting station to printer filament.
The one good thing about this is that it isn't easy to make money in the game.
Yeah.
I'm actually super happy about that, because the last game, the blooming selling process was broken as hell. I think I ended the game with somewhere like 2-point-something billion credits.
Yeah.
Would have been better if it was bottle caps.
Mm-hmm.
There, he's back. So what should we talk about now?
I don't know. I've got no ideas.
Helpful.
Yeah. I mean, we could talk about, obviously, because the next enemy is, or the enemy that you get for the next tier is the Black Tusks. If there's going to be a new enemy, what do you think they'll be called? And do
That's
you
a good
think
question.
do you think they would go to the extent of adding another enemy on top of the Black Tusks?
I don't think that they would go for another enemy on top of the Black Tusks. I reckon they'll just create harder levels of Black Tusks. Like, the main bosses that you have right now would be like foot soldiers for even higher levels.
I'm back.
I have a strong feeling that the Black Tusk are closely related
Hello?
to the Hunters. Hello.
Hi, Sippin.
And we're going to see a lot more Hunters, and I have a feeling that this next invaded episode is going to be about Hunters invading, even though we assume it's going to be Black Tusk invading.
Or
But that's just
I
my
have my headset turned down.
tinfoil hat theory.
Oh, that reminds me of something, actually. I was on Twitter yesterday, and I saw couple of tweets about the hunters and not knowing their origins. And someone mentioned the white cell theory, which are the hunters were sent in to clean up agents after the agents' jobs were completed. And then they just went off the reservation.
Yeah, see, that's the problem. The agents' jobs weren't completed, though. We never actually completed anything. Like, we found out what happened to this first wave, but we never actually finished our mission of saving New York.
Exactly.
We did clear out all of the head guys, but we never actually, eradicated the factions completely.
Right, and Westside Piers is still there. Like, there's no complete lore. Like, why are they working together?
We just moved. All we did was move to a different location in DC. We never actually finished.
Yeah, like, I reckon that the hunters would be... Well, my theory is that it's just a load of shade agents that failed the psych evaluations. But that's just my idea. I could be totally wrong.
That's crazy. No, I think they're definitely meant to hunt agents, steal their tech, and I believe that they're giving that information to the Black Tusk, and I think it's all connected.
That would be interesting, actually. Or, have you heard the Amazon Echo audio logs?
Well, I have this feeling of, you know how rogue agents, or there was a first wave, then there was a second wave, and then obviously the agents that we were the third wave, right?
Are you talking about in DC?
I think we were the third wave in New York as well, right?
No,
Yeah,
we were
we
the
were
the
second
second
wave.
So, alright, I've just advanced what I did too. So, I believe that the hunters are the third wave. These are the guys that the government is sending in to clean up their mess that they should have never created in the first place.
So the white cell theory.
Yeah, which is what Black Tusk could be, obviously, as well. I think the Black Tusk are working with the president, and that's why the president went missing without a fight in that cutscene.
See, this is where. Wait, what cutscene?
In Division 2?
What mission?
There's a mission where you go and save him.
Mm-hmm. And then when have you entered Endgame yet?
I'm in Endgame Tier 2. now.
Okay, yeah. The very last one, they said the president's missing. It looks like without a fight. After you do the last stronghold.
See, I always said, why the hell would the president be held captive and not hurt? Right? I always said this. I always said if you wanted to cause chaos, you would kill the president. Right? So why were the old enemies holding him captive but not hurting him?
Exactly. They're on the same team.
Were the other guys
Working with
holding him for the Black Dust? Yeah.
Yep. Exactly. That's what I think too.
That would be a great little storyline to follow on.
I'm calling it now. I'm still calling Russians. No.
Yeah, we talked about that in Bombshell
Shinenko
Packets.
and all that.
Well, there was only 2 strains of smallpox, one here and one in Russia.
That is true. Maybe if they make a Division 3, it could follow that. and shade agents could be sent to Russia.
Well, or it could be that the Black Tusk is Russia. Like that's them. The U.S. has fallen. We're in disarray. Everything's shit. So the Russians could be coming in, or any other country really, could be coming in using Black Tusk, especially with the president on their side.
The U.S. has a lot of enemies, so
right.
You know, I've even thought of, could the Division 3 potentially go to the Middle East, because the U.S. has a lot of enemies in the Middle East.
That would get a bit political, though, wouldn't it?
These whole games are all political. Everything's political about these games. It's their own politics. This is still a U.S. that's based on truth. Tom Clancy is still a fictional world based on truth. That's how it is.
Yes, but also Ubisoft have to play their cards right after that email that got sent out.
The email is a different thing. That did not go through the proper channels that it was supposed to get approved. It was not supposed to be sent out, and it was actually denied and was not supposed to be sent out. The tweet did get approved, and that made people upset too. But that one that's in-game politics. So the game itself has to have its own politics, has to have its own world, and so this game will always be politically charged in its own world. It just shouldn't have outside politics involved in it.
Yeah, I mean, it's like...
I wasn't saying anything about it not being politically involved, but I was just thinking, stay away from the stuff like the Middle East kind of thing.
But don't you think the Middle East is involved in this game right now? You know what I mean? There's something going on in the Middle East right now in the game. We shouldn't really stay away from it just because, you know, people are going to get upset. Because the Middle East does exist in here, just like California exists, just like Russia exists, you know? It still exists, and you can still do something with it.
Yeah, absolutely. It's just like North Korea exists in this game. It's just, they don't talk about it.
Not running well
yeah,
at all.
That's true.
So, you know, it could go to the Middle East. I mean, if you look at the end of what America would have, I mean, okay, yes, we've been into a little bit of politics again here, but it's like Tinkkz says, this game is politics. It's politics on politics, as well as being a shooter game. Like, because if you look at in real life, Iran and Iraq and Afghanistan, these are all, they're not friends with the United States, but they're not enemies either. You know, given the chance of the United States being weak at its knees, they're going to take their chances.
Yep, absolutely agree.
Which is where I think the Black Tusk could come in.
Yep. Alright guys, the kids are bugging me.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think it's time to record it anyway.
It is getting really hot here, and I cannot, like... My 2080 is probably screaming at me right now.
Yeah. Well, it's also getting late here in the UK, so I think this is a good point to end the podcast and end the stream.
Yeah.
So, tuning in. We'll be back again in 2 weeks, isn't it? Every 2 weeks?
Yeah, it's bi-weekly.
Thank you, Tinkkz, for coming and joining us.
In the next 2
Thank
weeks.
you for having me.
We'll possibly have another guest, maybe two, depending on if we can get any. Otherwise, it'll just be...
Depending if Law does his job right.
And we'll make sure that I work closely to ensure that the technical difficulties don't happen again.
Yeah, okay.
But they always do.
Yeah, it's inevitable with us.
This has been SHD Radio, episode 2. Thank you guys for coming out. Thank you for the guests. Tinkkz, Noxious Next, Law. Couldn't do this without you guys. This, although I wasn't here for most of it because my comfortable reasons. My room is like really hot. It's like 97.4 degrees Fahrenheit right now. I don't know if you guys know what that is in Celsius, but I think that's what, 32?
It'd be about 32, 33.
Yeah, it's pretty damn hot in here. 'Cause I can't have Division and streaming at the same time on my 2080 for some reason. But yeah, I really
You need to
enjoyed
get
the day.
liquid nitrogen.
No thanks. I'm not Kingpin. Oh no, Doodles. Hey, how you doing? But yeah, so I think that's about it.
Thank you all for coming.
This is SHD Radio
Thank you,
signing
guys.
off.